Introduction. My name is Tracy. I am 26 years old. I live in a quiet, small city. My job is at a design company. I help create new things for businesses. I enjoy my work and it keeps me busy. For 2 years, my life was with Sebastian. He was my boyfriend and I loved him very much. We shared many happy moments. We went to movies, cooked dinners, and talked for hours. I truly believed he was the right person for me. I trusted him completely with my heart. I thought our future would be together. Then, 6 months ago, everything changed. It was a normal evening at his apartment. Sebastian left his phone on the table when he went to the kitchen. A message popped up on the screen. It was from a girl. Her name was not familiar. My hands felt cold. I picked up the phone. I saw many messages. They were not friendly. They were messages of love and secrets. Sebastian was talking to another girl. He was telling her he liked her. He was arranging to meet her. My heart started to beat very fast. A terrible feeling came over me. He had been lying for a long time. He was cheating. The pain was sharp, like a knife. My whole world broke into small pieces. When Sebastian came back, I did not say much. I just showed him the phone. He looked surprised, then guilty. There was no need for words. I knew the truth. I grabbed my bag and left his apartment that night. I did not look back. Walking away, I made a strong promise to myself. I would never speak to Sebastian again. He had hurt me too much. The next days and weeks were very hard. I cried a lot. I felt angry, sad, and empty. My friends, Emma and Sarah, helped me. They listened and kept me company. I tried to focus on my work. It was difficult to concentrate, but I pushed myself. Every day was a small step. I went for walks. I read books. I tried to do things that made me happy. Slowly, very slowly, the sharp pain became a dull ache. The anger stayed, a quiet fire inside me. I was moving on, but the memory of his betrayal was still there. It was a long journey to heal, and I knew it would take much more time. 2. The party. One Friday evening, my good friend Emma called me. She invited me to a big party. Emma said it would be a lot of fun. I thought about it for a moment. Going out felt difficult sometimes. After my breakup, I often stayed home. But Emma was very kind and she really wanted me to come. She said it was time to enjoy myself. I thought, why not? It had been a long time since I truly relaxed. So I told Emma, yes, I will come. I decided to try and have a good time. I went to my closet and chose a nice dress. I put on some makeup and did my hair. I wanted to look good and feel confident. As I got ready, a small feeling of excitement grew inside me. Maybe this party was exactly what I needed. When I arrived, the music was very loud. Bright, colorful lights moved across the room. Many people were there, talking, laughing, and dancing. The air felt full of energy. It was a big change from my quiet evenings at home. I took a deep breath and walked into the crowd. I found Emma and we hugged. She gave me a drink. It was sweet and cold. I started to feel more comfortable. I had another drink. Soon I felt light and warm, a little dizzy, but in a good way. I laughed easily with my friends. We went to the dance floor. I moved my body to the rhythm of the music. For the first time in many months, I felt truly free. I forgot about my problems. I forgot about the past. I just danced and enjoyed the moment. It was a wonderful feeling. Then, suddenly, my happy feeling stopped. I looked across the crowded room, past the dancing people and bright lights. My eyes found a familiar face. My heart beat faster. It was Sebastian. He was standing near the bar, holding a drink. My stomach felt cold like a stone. He looked a little different, but it was definitely him. Next to him, a girl stood very close. She had long, dark hair and a bright smile. She was holding Sebastian's arm, and they were talking closely. She looked happy. She looked at him with admiration. A wave of a painful feeling washed over me. It was a mix of surprise, sadness, and old anger. I didn't want to see him, not like this, not with someone else. My hands began to shake slightly. As I watched them, Sebastian looked up. His eyes moved through the crowd. Then they stopped. He saw me. Our eyes met across the room. The music still played loudly, but in that moment, everything else became quiet. It felt like time stopped. My heart was pounding. I knew this night had just changed. 3, we talked again. Sebastian walked to me. He had a small smile. My heart beat fast. I did not want him near me, but he came closer. He stopped right in front of me. "Tracy," he said softly, like nothing bad had ever happened between us. My anger came quickly. "Sebastian," I said loudly, "what are you doing here? And that girl? Are you cheating on her now, just like you cheated on me?" My voice was loud, but the music was louder. The girl next to him did not hear what I said. She was still smiling. Sebastian did not look angry. He looked calm. He even laughed a little, a quiet sound. "No, Tracy," he said softly. "It's not like that. I am different now. I have changed since we last spoke." His words were quiet, a big change from my loud voice. I did not believe him. How could he say that? He hurt me so much. I told him this. "You hurt me, Sebastian, a lot. You broke my trust. You broke my heart." I felt hot tears in my eyes, but I did not let them fall. He just listened. He did not say bad things back. His face looked kind. This made me confused. I was drunk. My head felt light. The loud music spun around me. Why was he so gentle? Why was he not fighting with me? I wanted to walk away. I turned and started to move through the crowd, but he followed me. I almost fell because I was not steady. He quickly put his hand on my arm to help me. "Be careful, Tracy," he said. He found a quiet corner for us to sit. Then he went and brought me a glass of cold water. He gave it to me. He looked at me with soft eyes. He seemed sweet. He seemed caring. This was not the Sebastian who cheated. This was a different person. Or maybe it was just the drinks. My mind was not clear. My judgment was weak. I was too drunk to think clearly about what was real and what was not. His gentle words and kind actions felt good, even though my heart still remembered the pain. 4. One mistake. Everything after that was blurry. My memories of leaving the party were not clear. The music was still loud in my ears, and my head felt light from the drinks. I remember the cool night air on my face. Sebastian was right there beside me. He spoke softly, his voice gentle. I recall sitting on a low wall. The cold air felt good, but it did not make me feel sober. Sebastian put his jacket over my shoulders. It was a kind action. He said words I almost wanted to hear. He said I was important to him. He said he had missed me very much. He told me he was truly sorry for the past. My thoughts were a mess. I was still hurt and angry about his cheating. But I was also very drunk, and my feelings were hard to control. My mind told me to say no, to walk away, but my heart felt weak. It wanted to believe his kind words. I did not think clearly. I only thought about his soft voice and the warmth of his jacket. That night, I made a big mistake. I went with Sebastian. We did not go home separately. Instead, we went to his apartment. We spent the night together. It was a choice I knew was wrong, but I was too tired, too drunk, and too emotional to stop myself. The next morning, the sun was bright through the window. I woke up in his bed in his apartment. My head hurt badly. For a few seconds, I did not know where I was. Then I remembered everything. A wave of regret washed over me. My heart felt heavy with deep sadness and anger at myself. What had I done? I felt strong shame. Sebastian came into the room with breakfast, toast, and coffee. He put it on the bedside table. He looked at me with soft eyes. "Tracy," he said, his voice quiet, "I have changed. I want to make things right. I promise I will never hurt you again." I looked at him. His words sounded sincere, but my mind remembered the past. I wanted to scream, to tell him how much he had hurt me. I wanted to tell him that I did not believe him. But a small part of me wished his words were true. I stayed silent. My feelings were a confusing mix of anger, regret, and a tiny, dangerous hope. 5. A new start. After that night, Sebastian started to call me. He called me many times. I tried to ignore him. I did not want to speak to him, but he did not stop. He sent me many long messages. In these messages, he said he was very sorry for everything he did. He wrote that he regretted his actions deeply. He promised me he would prove he was a better man now. He said he had changed and learned from his mistakes. Slowly, after many days, I started to answer his messages. Then we met for coffee. We talked for a long time. He seemed calm. He looked different. He listened to me carefully. He did not argue. He just said he wanted to make things right between us. My friends told me not to listen to him. They said he would hurt me again. They believed he was still the same person. But I felt confused. I wanted to believe him. Against my friend's advice, I decided to give him one more chance. We started to see each other again. It was a new beginning for us. In the first few weeks, it felt nice. He tried very hard to be a good boyfriend. Every morning, he sent me a text message. He visited me at work sometimes, just to say hello. He even cooked dinner for me at his apartment a few times. He was kind and attentive. He seemed to remember the small things I liked. He showed me more care than before. I told myself, maybe he really changed this time. I wanted to believe it with all my heart. I tried to forget the past. I tried to forget the pain he caused me before. I wanted to think that this was truly a new start for us. I hoped for a happy future with him. I felt a little hopeful, but deep inside, a small voice whispered to me. It said, "Be careful." I tried not to listen to that voice, but it was always there. 6. The same lies. 2 months passed since Sebastian and I started again. I tried to believe him. I wanted to think he was a new person. Our evenings together felt normal. We watched movies. We cooked dinner. I began to feel safe, little by little. I thought the small voice inside me was wrong. I thought I could trust him now. One evening, we were at my apartment. We had just finished eating. Sebastian got up to go to the kitchen. He left his phone on the coffee table. It was a small, everyday thing. I did not think about it. Then the phone lit up. A message appeared on the screen. It was from a girl. Her name was Sarah. The message was short but clear. "I can't wait to see you again," read. My heart stopped. My hands started to shake, just like at the party. I told myself not to look. I told myself it was a mistake. But the words were already in my mind. The little red heart emoji felt like a punch. My breath became fast. I picked up the phone. My fingers felt cold as I touched the screen. I opened the chat history. The messages were there. They had been talking for many weeks. He had told her she was beautiful. He had told her he missed her. He had made plans with her. It was all there. Each word was like a sharp knife. It cut me deeply. He was telling her the same lies. The feeling in my chest was terrible. It was a mix of sadness, anger, and deep disappointment. Just then, Sebastian came back into the living room. He had a glass of water in his hand. He saw me holding his phone. His eyes went wide. He knew. He saw the screen. His face lost its color. I threw his phone onto the table. It made a loud noise. "Who is she?" I shouted. My voice was broken, full of pain. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. He tried to explain, but his face already told me everything. His eyes looked away. He could not meet my gaze. He had lied again. He had not changed at all. The promises he made were just empty words. The hope I had built was now broken. My eyes filled with hot tears. They ran down my cheeks. My chest burned with anger and a deep, heavy sadness. The same old story, the same old pain. It was happening again. 7, my turn. After I found the messages, my chest burned. Tears came, but they did not stay long. Something inside me felt different. My sadness quickly turned into a strong, clear feeling. I was tired of being hurt. I decided I would not be the weak girl again. I would not let Sebastian break my heart a second time. I knew I needed a different way to end things. I thought about how I usually reacted, crying, shouting, asking why. But those things never changed him. They only made me feel worse. This time, I wanted to show him his lies had no power over me. I wanted to leave with my head held high, on my own terms. I made a quiet but strong plan. I would not yell or beg. I would wait for the right moment. A few days later, Sebastian called. He invited me to a dinner with his friends. He acted as if nothing bad had happened. He probably thought I was still sad and quiet. I agreed to go. I knew this was my chance. I chose my clothes carefully and made my face look calm. When I arrived, his friends were there, smiling. Sebastian introduced me, still pretending everything was fine. We sat and ate, talking about small things. I watched him and his friends. My heart beat fast, but my face showed nothing. After dinner, the conversation stopped. This was my moment. I took a deep breath. My voice was clear and steady. I looked at Sebastian directly. "Sebastian," I said, "you told me you changed. You said you would never hurt me again. But I saw the messages on your phone. You lied to me. You are still lying to other girls." The room became very quiet. His friends looked at him with surprise. Their smiles were gone. Sebastian's face turned very pale. He looked shocked and he tried to speak, but no words came out. I did not wait for him to explain. I did not want to hear more lies. I stood up slowly from the table. I felt a strange mix of fear and strength. I looked at his friends one last time, then at Sebastian. I turned and walked out of the restaurant without looking back. The cool air outside felt good. A heavy feeling lifted from my shoulders. I was not sad or angry. I felt free. I had shown him that I was strong. I had taken back my power. That night, I blocked his number and all his social media. I did not want to hear from him ever again. This was my ending. It was my turn to be strong. 8. Moving on. After that night, when I told Sebastian the truth in front of his friends, I felt a mix of feelings. There was anger, yes, but also a strange kind of relief. The chapter from my life with Sebastian was truly closed. The days that followed were not easy. Sometimes I felt a wave of sadness. Sometimes I felt very angry, remembering all the lies. But I did not let these feelings stop me. I knew I had to focus on myself. I started with small changes. Every morning, I woke up early and went for a run. The fresh air helped clear my head. I also joined a new gym class. It was hard at first, but soon I felt stronger, not just in my body, but in my mind too. My friends were a great support. Emma and others called me often. We had coffee, went for walks, and talked about everything. They helped me laugh again. They reminded me of my worth. At work, I put all my energy into new projects. I wanted to learn more and do my best. My boss noticed my hard work, and I felt proud. These positive things helped me move forward. I understood something very important during this time. Sebastian often said he changed. He said he was sorry, but his words were never true. His actions always showed the real story. He continued to lie. This lesson stayed with me. I learned to look at what people do, not just what they say. The night I spent with Sebastian, the one I called a mistake, also taught me a lot. At first, I felt ashamed. I thought I was weak, but then I realized it was a part of my journey. It was a painful lesson, but it pushed me to become stronger. It showed me that I needed to trust my own judgment, not someone else's empty promises. It was a moment that made me grow. Slowly, a real peace came into my life. It was not just a quiet feeling, it was a deep sense of calm. I began to trust myself completely. I knew I could make good choices for my future. The fear of being alone disappeared. The fear of being hurt again also faded. I realized I was enough. I was strong. I was happy being Tracy. The past no longer held me. Sebastian and his lies were just a memory. They did not have power over my feelings anymore. I felt truly free. It was like a heavy weight had been lifted from my shoulders. My story was not about being broken. It was about being rebuilt, stronger and wiser. Now, I looked forward to each new day with hope. If I ever saw Sebastian again, it would not bring me pain. It would simply be a moment where I saw someone from my past, someone who taught me a valuable lesson. I would walk past him with a smile, a real smile, knowing that I had truly moved on.